Hello and thank you for downloading this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Before we start the show tonight, we wanted to give everybody a word of warning that each episode produced by Movie Guys Podcast is for a mature audience. You have been warned. Also, all of our reviews are spoiler filled. So if you have not seen the film that we're going to talk about tonight, turn off the show and come back when you're ready to listen. Thank you so much for downloading, and we hope you enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight I am Jordan, and I am joined here with my buddy Eric, because tonight we are talking about everything Pokemon, or Pokemon, according to my grandfather, all leading up to our Movie Guys Podcast review next Wednesday, live here on YouTube at 9 p.m., which will be the Detective Pikachu episode. So we'll be excited to give you guys that next week. But this episode is just Eric and I bullshitting about Pokemon, kind of sharing our knowledge of it. Eric, I would argue, is the uber fan or a big fan, and I am kind of a noob. I know some stuff, but I don't know hardly anything. So.
What puts you as a noob? I'm catching them all, by the way, everyone. Gym leader Eric here, representing the Ferndale Gym here, I guess, in Michigan. Detroit Gym, you know.
What?
I guess, I don't know. I would say that might be Steel, you know.
Yeah.
Steel or you know, it's maybe one of those. Maybe fighting. Maybe Detroit is a fighting Pokemon type. But either way, when you say you're a noob of sorts, like, because Pokemon is a welcoming world.
Yeah, it is.
It's there's no such thing as a noob. Either, you know, if you're fresh into it, then don't worry about it. We'll start you off with one of the three Pokemon anyway.
Yeah, right.
Everyone gets one.
Well, because I'm right now, currently, I am 32 years old. So back when it came out in the United States in 97, 98, I was at a ripe age for it. I was perfect. And you and I are not very far off in age either. I think we're a year apart. So you were the same, I'm assuming. Just right there. Perfect moment, perfect timing.
I think this is where I said that my age is a little bit older, but and why that only makes a difference is because fads were fads, obviously, real hard in the 90s. And I think that my fad hit harder, I was telling you, with either Pogs or maybe like Micro Machines or, you know, I don't know, something kind of around that realm. But card collecting was popular at that time. I remember I had Magic cards before I had Pokemon cards, though.
Yeah, so since you brought that up, I was going to tell this story later, but I'm going to tell you why I almost got my ass kicked in a group of Magic the Gathering accidentally back in college.
You should probably just stop right there, actually. The way that you just set that up, Jordan, seems well, no, because now that I brought it up, now I'm curious. Go ahead.
Now you're curious.
Go ahead.
So I was 19 years old, and I had a few college buddies that was in the fraternity with, and some of them played Magic.
Fraternity, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Sig Ep represent Sigma F Epsilon. Anyway,
yeah, I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. So a couple of them like, hey, you know, we play Magic. I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. She's like, yeah, come with us, free beer. So we go to one of these places, I don't know, like a comic book shop or something. This was in 2006, so I don't remember that much detail. But I go to one of these things, and they have some beer there. And the guys are playing. And I'm like, hey, can I just stand around and just watch? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know anything. Yeah, sure, no big deal. There's a bunch of guys, maybe 30 guys, maybe at most. And I'm starting to figure it out a little bit. And I go, and you know where this is heading. Oh, I get it. This is like Pokemon for adults. And they all kind of like just turned at me at complete unison. And I did like that Homer Simpson meme where I just back slowly into the bushes.
You just said, like, this is a beautiful sketch idea. It really is. Like, I can see this. Yeah, it really is. Just everything that you painted about it. Also, like, a lot of things that you just said right there in describing everything, Jordan, was like, I could have cut you off because they were all easy setups. But I feel like I just wanted to hear the full story.
Yeah,
before
that's
I.
how it happened. I didn't realize, but that's what I thought Magic was when they were playing it. So since you brought up Magic, I will share that story now. But Pokemon came out in America, came out in Japan first. Pokemon, of course, as everybody knows, is pocket monsters. As a grown perverted man, I find that kind of funny, but that's me. And
Mm-hmm.
the first game that came out was two of them. You had red and you had blue. Eric, can you please tell me what the actual difference on why you would have red or blue, the original Pokemon games in the United States back on Game Boy?
Oh fuck if I know. I didn't play. I wasn't allowed to play those games. Here's the thing: is that like I was never exposed to the Game Boy crowd. I was exposed card first.
Card
That's
first.
that's how
Okay.
that's how I got into it, and I didn't get into games until like the '64 era actually. So while everyone was playing this culture of the Game Boy games, which I completely missed out on, I get that because I got to play them a bit later in different variations, and they're just as fun, at any age as you would, to kind of go around and just play the Pokemon. God damn it, that sounds like a weird. You play the Pokemon, but
Playing the
anyway,
Pokemon, yeah.
I was exposed to the cards first, and I hate to admit this deep dark secret, but this is during a lot of my klepto days, and I just go into the KB toy store over there, and they just have
Ah,
displays about that shit. You can go out and grab a handful of them bitches and just put it in your pocket. Go ahead to the front, buy yourself a few suckers for $1, and no problem, walk out. Nobody's none the wiser. You were there to buy suckers, not to steal the Pokemon cards.
day before Big Brother. God bless it.
Yeah, that was a
Nice.
fun times in the mall there. So I'd collect. I still do have a bunch of my cards actually right over here.
Well,
That
I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody a little bit behind the scenes here, we know our schedule a month in advance. So I have been studying history of Pokemon on YouTube for the past
that's
4
what I'm
weeks.
talking about. My dude doing homework here. I
Yeah,
like
doing
this.
some homework here. So the reason why they have a red and a blue version in America is simply this: you had this would be the baby version of DLC. There was 150 Pokemon, or 151 if you count Mewtwo, right?
Yeah.
Well, certain Pokemon were only available in red version, certain Pokemon were only available in blue version. So in order to collect them all, you had to buy both of the same game, just different Pokemon. Now, my last little rant about this is that you would think, okay, so I buy Pokemon Red and I get my choose your Charmander, your Squirtle, or your Bulbasaur, right? So I'm gonna buy blue and I'm gonna have maybe three different. What? No, no, it's just a Pokemon that you meet in the wild. That's the only difference. And then they came out with Pokemon Yellow a year later, same exact game as Red and Blue, just now they combined it, and Pikachu now follows you, and you start the game with Pikachu. That's the only difference.
Well, there you go.
Only difference. And there is a fourth game, and that was called Pokemon Green, and that was only available in Japan.
Damn, you did your homework at that, and yeah, props to everyone who's played all three of those games. Then.
So then I'm gonna ask the obvious question first. The obvious question. So I don't know anything. I'm gonna spill the guts right now. I don't know any generations besides Generation One. I don't know anything. Generation One is all I know. The original 151.
Sure.
Who is, if you could choose, now this could be tougher, and I think you know where I'm going with this. Who is your favorite Pokemon and who's your least favorite Pokemon? Now, I don't want you to answer this because this is going to be our popcorn rating version at the end. I just didn't want to make you think right off the spot. Think about it throughout the episode, and we'll get back to that question.
Thank you. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that might be good.
Yeah. I'm just teasing the fans for that's how we're going to say for Pokemon. So you said, Eric, that you got into Pokemon with the games later N64. So then you played the greatest Pokemon game of all time, Pokemon Stadium, then.
Yeah. Stadium was a popular one. Snap was a popular one.
That game was
Uh,
terrible.
it was still popular, man. Like I mean, I had two sisters, so it kind of it was there, you know.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it was. I liked Stadium. It was fun after a while, but here's the thing. Here's what I didn't. What a lot of the I'm not gonna just say Pokemon, but a lot of the JRPGs or the J battle games is that they fell to animations. You had cutscenes and animations that took up a lot of the majority of the time. And so when you do an action, you have to wait seconds, and those seconds add up every time for every action. In Pokemon Stadium was such. Every time you gave a command for a Charizard to do Fire Breath, you have to wait for that animation to go through, and then you have to wait for the damage to go through register, and so that after a while it became impatient.
Hmm. Well, I never liked those games growing up. I am a big Star Wars fan, and one of my first Star Wars games I ever played was the Old Republic games.
Sure.
And when it was that you push a button, you wait for the move, everything that you described. I was like, I'm done. But for some reason, I didn't mind for Pokemon Stadium. Which I did mind about Pokemon was anime. So I'll go on record to make this clear. I hate anime. Hate
Whoa.
hate anime. I
You're
do not like it.
you're missing out on a huge chunk of film that in just you're missing out on a beautiful storytelling.
Well, now let me explain myself, Eric, on this anime.
Sure enough. They're known for the filler,
Yeah,
and definitely Pokemon is one such an anime that's defined a lot by its filler. That's for sure.
absolutely. This is one of the bulk things I want to talk to you about because I know you like anime. Okay, so I'm going to make this
Yeah.
clear. My wife, as an example, we would watch a trailer on TV and she'd be like, that looks stupid. I don't want to see it. And my response to her or to anybody else is, but you can't say that until you see it, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did not have this love for anime until I've seen a lot of anime stuff. Now I've seen the mainstream stuff. I haven't seen like some obscure independent thing that was made back in the mid 90s, but I've seen what I needed to see, and I just don't like it. I don't like the drawing. I don't like the way the characters move. I don't like the way their mouths are with and this Caesar-ish stuff,
Sure.
and it's just But the only anime that I could ever stand as a kid and as an adult is Pokemon. It's not that. It's not Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yes. Uh, I there's still like conflict, but yeah, it's at the core, it's kids, and it's lighthearted, and it's supposed to teach value and you know lessons, pretty much like that. Whereas a lot of the other animes are either just there to tell a story, or to just have fun, or just to kick some ass. Like
Right.
whereas Pokemon seems to be a bit more kind of lessons in a world,
Mhm.
and it's just cute that they have all these characters to tell it in. So yeah, I can understand that. As far as the that anime goes, at least, like, this is part of the marketing monster that is, because now you have created this whole brand around merchandise, and now you have a show, and now you have show merchandise, and then you go into movies, which we're going to talk about here in a bit, and then you're going to go into all that merchandise. But you have this world that is just so built and immersed through everything that I dare say that with all the games and everything, the best part about it has always been its fan base. The regular games that came out for any sort of Game Boy or Nintendo, rather, have been fun, but I've had the most fun with fan games that have been
Yes.
made.
Yes. No, I understand with you. Fan games are fucking fun. And it's because
Yeah,
of the creator. I mean, like, the creator of Pokemon is still there creating.
when you have, again, a world that encourages the creation, because you can literally do whatever you want,
Yeah.
and how you want to do it, and just add different aspects to it. It's all inclusive.
Well, one of the things that I found in my research, not to go boring, but the creator of Pokemon, the reason why he came up with this is because in the first game, I don't know if you know this, but the character of Ash is 11 years old. In the
Yeah,
world of Pokemon, 11 years old, you go out and do your stuff. But the reason
you're
why,
a man at 11. You're gonna go out there and
right
into the woods where Pokemon will kill you.
in the Kanto region, right?
They
Kanto?
will kill you.
They well, maybe. I mean, not
Yes,
all, but yeah, Charizard would, Onyx would, yeah,
most I would
yeah,
say
would totally
are
kill you.
threatening. Yes.
Yeah. But the reason why he came up with Pokemon is because at 11 years old, he would go out to the woods and he would catch bugs.
Sure.
and he would always try to collect all the bugs he could. So as a young child, he grew into adulthood, and that's how we got it. Um, what I also got though, Eric, was Burger King. They do not sponsor Movie Guys podcast, but Burger King was awesome because in 1999, when we had the first ever Pikachu movie, the first Pokemon movie, which was Mewtwo Strikes Back, was the first Pokemon movie released in 1999, and I still have it in my mom's attic. If you went to Burger King, you got the red Pokeballs with the golden card inside of it with the main three Pokemon. Do you remember those?
I do remember those. Yes.
I have all three of them in my mom's attic because I'm that
Well,
much of a nerd.
hold on to those.
You can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them on eBay for like $20 for the set.
All right. Well,
So it's
hold
worth,
on another 40 years then.
right? I mean, just collecting those things were so much fun. I had more fun collecting those Pokeballs for the movie than what I did collecting the card games.
Sure enough.
But did you ever follow? Because I'm going to talk about my movies relatively soon. But did you ever follow the actual rules of the card game? Because when my brother and I played, we just kind of made up our own rules of what we saw
Oh,
on the
oh
show.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean we would very much do tournament rules and tournament decks and yeah. Yeah, we played legit. Pretty much you're doing the just like you would for a lot of things is that you start off with the standard. I'm rusty on because I've not played it in geez, more than a decade now. I'd gotta be.
Because I was going to
Yeah.
ask, like I was going to ask, like the bare bones. How do you play? Do you start off with? I
No,
believe you start with six Pokemon, right? That's your
you're not like Pokemon, but like cards. But no, it's like you standardly would. I mean, you'd shuffle, and then you'd have to lay the deck, and then or yeah, lay your hand, then lay the deck, and then that's it. And basically turn based. You'd go and either you would have to build up your energy cards, or I'm sorry, you lay down a Pokemon in play, and then you'd have to spend energy to have them attack. Basically, that would be your economy in a game is the cards that you would draw. And some cards were resource cards, so that any Pokemon that you would play, you could lay a resource card, and let's say that their attack costs like 2 resource, lay down 2 resource cards, and you could put those, or you burn them and do damage and knock out more players, or you could play like oh what the hell, like a lab card or something
because
like
remember
it.
they had
They had special
energy,
cards.
they had power, they had psychic
Well,
cards
those are the different. That's
types of
like
Pokemon.
yeah, that's like the different resource, I guess you could say.
So okay, so I'm asking you. So I put down a Pikachu card, and you have a whatever card.
You have
So I
that's an
say,
electric mouse, by the way.
yeah, electric mouse. So I put down the electric mouse. I just can't say, okay, Pikachu, I'm gonna have him hit you. I have to put down another card so he has the energy to hit you. I have to have enough
Now,
energy cards.
keep in mind that nowadays there are more than one type of card. So you could have there are like 20 different Pikachu cards, and each Pikachu card has like a different attack on it or a different value. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you could play different attacks if you wanted to. But yes, exactly. One attack costs one lightning energy. One cost one colorless or and then 2 energy because it's a big attack or something like that too. Or one's a roll where you have to spend this much energy and it's a roll. So you have to not only spend the energy on the attack, but you have to roll for the chance to do the damage or do double that damage or whatever effect. So it's a card game. You know, any play that you play has a cost or an effect, and you'd have to play by those rules.
And the person who wins is when their opponent has all their Pokemon not dead but fainted, right?
There's yeah, I this is where the rules because I know that now certain tournaments have different ways of different win conditions, but yeah, for the most part, I think it's if you have a certain number of downed Pokemon. I think
Okay.
that's what it is. If you have a certain however many that are shuffled into, or when you run out of your deck, no, because you just reshuffle. I think it's like I said, it's been a while. I think it was a number of down Pokemon. I hope that somebody listening to this can correct, but it's something like it. Yeah, there is a win condition. I think they've changed over the years.
Okay. All right. So thank you for explaining me the card thing. We've talked about the games. We've talked about the cards. Now we're going to lead into the movies here. We talked about how Burger King did their little special thing with the Pokeballs. But were you there opening weekend with your father dragging him to the theater in 1999 like I
Well,
was,
fuck yeah,
and
I want
looking
the
at my
card.
father and going, "Oh my god, my dad's just he wished he had whiskey."
No, no.
Uh,
Well, my parents dropped me off, and they went to go see another movie.
ah,
That's usually what we did. Is that if I wanted to go see a movie, they just like, no, you can go in there, kid. We'll see you, and we'll meet you out here. They always met me out there. I think they must have timed it to where either way, or like one of them would maybe go into the theater, and the other one would just walk in late to whatever movie they were going to go see. I don't know, some fucking Star Trek or some fucking bullshit. Uh, what the hell? But I went to do with the card. I wanted the cards, man, because
yeah,
if you went to the theater, you got a card. If you were within like opening week or something like that, and they said, oh, if you were the first 100, no, if you were just there opening week, they give you a card.
right. I remember in 1999, I was 12 years old, 12, 13, and I remember being utterly pissed off because the opening of the movie of Pokemon presents Mewtwo Strikes Back was the first 30 minutes was a side movie called Pikachu's Vacation,
Yeah, there you go.
and it had nothing to do with the story. And I remember my dad just looking at me with eyes of hatred. What did you take me to, you child? Like, just upset. Like, that was bad. And I watched the movie for our history of Pokemon, just this movie. And it was a chore to sit through that Pikachu Vacation. It was abysmal. It was bad.
Yeah, sometimes they. Yep. What more can you say? They're not like
Mhm.
any of those Pixar shorts you're gonna see now, huh?
No, but what's really cool is that the movie introduced to us the creation of Mewtwo, and it's a really dark movie for the first ever Pokemon movie for kids, right? Mewtwo was a badass.
Well, yeah, of course, Mewtwo was a badass, but I mean, everyone always it was on also on Team Mew to see that fucking shit too. Like, there was this is where like the elites started to come out, so people were just like, yeah, I'm Team Dragonite, or I fucking like Mewtwo, or they like Mew, or then you had the Faithfuls going with the Charizard and stuff like that. Like, it was still a good movie because this is where you got to see a bit more from Team Rocket as an actual threat, whereas in the show they didn't seem like anything more than just some, I don't know, speed
Idiots.
bumps. Yeah,
Yeah,
idiots.
just jackasses. Just, I mean, like, I was never Mew. I was never Team Mew because being a 12-year-old boy, Mewtwo was just cooler. If we want to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
that route.
Well,
So
he was the badass villain.
yeah, yeah,
You don't
like
get too many badass villains. And I think he was one of the few that have like were like the righteous villains, right? I think he's one of those where you're just like Warmonger and Black Panther. You're just like, okay, like
yeah,
you're a villain. Like I hear your cause, and you're just like, oh, he's kind of got a point.
yeah. No, I mean, Mewtwo. I always dug it. All the girls in my school always had Mew because he's so cute and cuddly.
Of
But
course, yeah.
question about Mew and Mewtwo then, Eric. Since we don't have much more of the episode to go, but uh, do you have knowledge of Mewtwo? I've always was told that Mew is a legendary Pokemon and he's
That's
considered
correct.
one of the first Pokemon ever.
Yeah, yeah, and
Mew.
Mewtwo was supposed to be like a clone or
Hmm.
something like that that just tend to that went rogue. Basically, is what that happened there.
Okay.
But there's the other thing too is that they also in the other movies you get to see that there's different levels of like legendary Pokemon. You know that there's like the ancient Pokemon, and then it's fucking primal Pokemon, some weird time traveling Pokemon. Celebi was when they started to do this whole time travel thing. So yeah,
They get
it was
crazy.
whatever hype that Mew had for being whatever legendary status that Mew was short lived because you need to make a franchise. You need to make more, and
Right.
you get that, or you get the fucking Lugia or whatever the hell that ninja one is now.
So we jump forward from 1999 and we go to 2015, and all of a sudden my wife comes to me and says, "Hey, Jordan, you remember Pokemon?" I was like, "Yeah, what about it?" She goes, "Check this out. It's being released next week. It's called Pokemon Go. You can catch Pokemon in the wild." Like, what? The concept sounded foreign to me. Once the game was installed on my phone, I got the concept.
Sure.
But the way my wife was explaining it to me was different. Now, you said at the beginning of the show that you are a Pokemon master. How are you a Pokemon master? Is that what you just wake up one day and call yourself?
No, no. I mean, I caught them all, man. Both in the card game, in a lot of the other games. But no, when Pokemon Go first came out, I rolled it first, but then I tried it out and I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'm playing this game now. And it hard in this area in Michigan because we have a lot of parks around here,
Yeah.
and a lot of these parks had like nodes or like the big gyms around or like a lot of spots, and so you would have people that would just walk just doing miles, just doing laps, myself included. And there was a part where like it's like people were hating on it, like I guess that who were like my parents, I guess would be
Yeah.
one like that. But it's just like I can understand that hate, but there came a point where like I was with a group of like 6 people, like friends, and we'd be just walking around, just having a good old time, and just I don't know, catching the Pokemon. We were outside walking, doing walking miles, man. So if you guys are gonna hate on that, then I don't know. You guess you can fuck off or something, man. Like it just how what's there to be mad about that, right?
There's nothing to be mad about it. I mean, like, you don't play it much anymore now, or you done?
No, the unfortunate part about that is that that game grew too big, and the company didn't really keep up too much with it. So it had a lot of updates that were pending that a lot of people wanted, and I'll just leave it at that. Obviously, it's still popular; so people still play it. But after I caught them all, and I was just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for a patch or an update. I was like, well, I guess I'm done with it. I kind of I'm at the I've reached to a certain level where I'm just like I'm waiting for the next and I'm not getting it.
Yeah. No, I understand that now because my wife still plays. I don't. And she said they're on like generation 4 or 5. And she showed me some of the Pokemon, and there's one that's literally a fucking stick.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
the
just
one
like,
the
I'm
one
done.
bad thing about Pokemon is that sometimes because you have so many, they've come out with some that are just like weird. Like there was an Alien series that was just basically the alphabet.
Oh my God. Are
And
you serious?
yeah, I'm not even kidding you. Like each one, I think they're just unknown A, unknown B, unknown C, and it was basically just 26. Like it was just the alphabet.
Oh, God, that's sickening.
Yeah, that was a
Oh,
painful one to accept. That's for sure.
I hope it's not in that. But, well, everybody, you have listened to our episode here leading up to Detective Pikachu. But we said in the beginning of the show, we're going to give our popcorn rating. However, we're going to give our favorite and least favorite Pokemon with the first generation here. So, Eric, I gave you the episode to prepare. Would you want to go with first? You want to go with your favorite or your least favorite first?
I will go with my favorite,
All right, who would
and
that be, buddy?
only because maybe just like I thought he was just badass, and I use him in my decks a lot. Alakazam.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the spoon, right?
The guy with the spoons. He was yeah, he had 2 spoons. He was a psychic Pokemon. He was the third. There was Abra, then there was Kadabra, and he was the final form, Alakazam. So he was my favorite. I thought he was just fucking dope. I had him in a lot of my decks. He did a lot of damage. He was a fucking dope one. I liked him. He was
I
good.
don't see him much in the Pokemon show, and I mean he wasn't advertised heavily, which is a shame because I always kind of dug the way he looked. I agree with you 100%. He was fun. I actually dig that one. That's a good one.
Sure.
I love that one. Okay, who's your least favorite?
It's got to be one of the mud ones, like Grimer probably.
Grimer.
Like they're just fucking they're garbage, actual fucking garbage. Like I feel like that's just lazy where someone's just like I don't know a puddle of fucking mud. Like so they had a bad day at work and they walked into the office, they stepped into a puddle of mud and they were just like you know what that's a fucking Pokemon because I hate it so goddamn much. So that's just I thought that was interesting. Obviously, interesting Pokemon because it's like sludge, slows, poison, and but fuck that thing.
No, it's better than a stick though.
Yeah,
Not by much, but it's better than a stick, literally. Two Pokemon fan theories, and then I'll give mine. We'll end the show here, everybody. First of all, one's a theory, one's a fact. Cubone. Do you know who Cubone is? The
Of
Pokemon,
course,
right?
of course.
Do you know what the skull on Cubone is meant to be?
I've heard a theory, but please go ahead.
I was told that the skull on Cubone is actually his mother's skull. All Cubones wear their mother's skull on their heads.
From what's the hell's that Pokemon? Something with a K.
Cubone? Well, I don't
Kahuna.
I don't know. Sure. I just heard it was Cubone's mother's skull that he would wear.
Is it Kahuna?
I don't know. I don't know who Kahuna. Big Kahuna Burger? I don't know.
Just go. I might be getting that wrong.
Okay. Well, then we got a fan theory. Do you know the Pokemon? I'm gonna get murder it. Dido.
Yeah, I know Ditto. He can change into anything. Yeah.
I was reading fan theories that was his name Ditto.
Yeah.
That Ditto, that Pokemon exists because that was the original attempt to clone and recreate Mew.
Yeah, that's a fun theory.
That's a fun theory. So, all right, Eric, you ready to hear mine?
I am as I'm scrolling through trying to fucking find
I will be different.
what the hell is this goddamn Pokemon. Oh yeah, well go ahead. Is it gonna be Lickitung? You fan of that one?
No, what the fuck? No. So I will go with my least favorite. So my least favorite is Meowth, the speaking
The talking
Pokemon.
one. Yeah,
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like every other Pokemon only says its name. This thing can talk. I don't like it. I heard the theories. I don't like it. My favorite Pokemon is Blastoise.
Blastoise. Why?
Because he's a badass. Look at him. He's a goddamn Ninja Turtle.
He's
Just
got cannons.
with cannons, man. He is Leonardo, but fat with cannons.
Here to go on your theory. It's the Pokemon is Kangaskhan, and it's basically this big kind of dino character that has a pouch, and there's a little dude in the pouch. People think that thing in the pouch is the young Cubone.
Thank you. I know who you're talking about. My last point that I'm done here, everybody. The most worthless Pokemon in the original was Polygram.
Polygon.
Just worthless. Just
Porygon. What are you talking about? Porygon gave the kids seizures.
Worthless.
Gave the kids his episode was the one that was banned in the United States because it gave kids seizures. Apparently,
is that on Netflix? I want to see that if that is.
Yeah, I think that they let it back on. It's not anything special. It's a straight episode, but there's just one part where it's just a strobe.
Nice. Well, I think Eric and I could sit here and kind of have a few drinks and bullshit about Pokemon for a few more hours, but we're not going to do that to you guys. So we want to say thank you so much for checking out this most recent episode here at Movie Guys Podcast. This leading up to Detective Pikachu next week. We're really excited to give you that. And Ed will be joining us next week for that. And also, you can see Eric every Sunday for the next 2 weeks, live here every Sunday after the Game of Thrones episodes. Check us out here at youtube.com/Movie Guys Podcast. You can watch Eric and Ed nerd out and geek out and give fan theories about why is there a Starbucks coffee cup in the background instead of McDonald's.
Now there's a new one. That apparently there's a cell phone is slipped in one of the scenes too. So it's not looking good.
Not looking good. But make sure to check us out at movieguyspodcast.com, movieguyspodcast.podbean.com, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. And also, you can download our episodes on Spotify and on iHeartRadio. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. We're the logo with the bag of popcorn with the headphones. So thank you so much, everybody, for listening to this most recent episode of Movie Guys Podcast. Eric, I'll talk to you next week for Detective Pikachu. Have a good night, everybody.